Hey everyone, it is Melly Mel here with Sincerely Creative Mom. We are going to create this fall kit. Sorry, I'm searching for two of these little guys here. We're going to create this fall kit. It is sold out. However, there may be other kits available in our shop. This was super duper cute. It has the turquoise and the leopard and the bright orange and the buffalo plaid and a little bit of glitter. So pretty. So we went with tails for the fall leaves with that orange and the glitter, the buffalo plaid, and that turquoise leopard. Super duper cute. We're going to walk through all the measurements in just a moment. It came with a full roll of mesh. I cut them 20 inches long, so I'm going to cut my last one. We cut 12 at 20 inches long. I'm just using my rotary cutter and a self-healing mat, cutting it at 20 inches long. So I have some mesh left over. I'll set that over to the side. We have our, it's a 12-inch sign. Heavy metal, by the way. Nice and sturdy here. Beautiful sign. We have our 14-inch Pancake Wreath frame. If you're looking for the frames themselves, you can check it out over at thepancakeframe.com. That'll bring you to the actual frame itself. So the kit came with the frame, the sign, the pipe cleaners, the ribbon tails. So we're going to cut those. These are all 14 inches long. Y'all, please excuse me. I do have a cough. It's been hanging out for a little while. So we're going to cut them 14 inches long. 14 inches long. Now, if you noticed, it comes in a bundle just like this. Don't just cut them. I just dropped it on the floor. Don't just cut it, because this is 12 inches. You need them 14. Please don't just cut it. So you do want to measure it. I'm just using a board here from a friend of mine. You can find these boards over at woodcandlebase.com. So 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, and it gives me a little bit left over, which is going to be perfect for this scenario. Okay, so I'm just going to slide those off there, and then I'm going to cut. Now it's 14 inches long. Remember, when you receive it, it's folded, and it's 12 inches. That's just easiest for us to cut and prepare the kits for y'all. And then I'm just going to cut those ends there, kind of slide them all together, make sure they're kind of one on top of each other, the best, whatever you want to call it. And then I'm going to dovetail both of those ends there so it has a nice little V, nice little finished, polished edge there. So I'm going to put them all in a line, fold it. I'm going to cut on the fold up towards that edge. All one. These scissors are amazing. If you don't have them, they should be on your Christmas list. You can find the links for the scissors and all the things in the description of this video. So many useful tools that just help your creativity kind of go a little bit easier. So I did all the rest of them for us, but I did want to make sure that for those of you who are brand spanking new, you had a little tutorial on how to cut those. So I have that all ready. Now before we move on to adding our pipe cleaners, we are going to prepare these. So I did this in a special way. I'm going to put the buffalo plaid on the bottom, then the glitter leaves, then the leopard. Okay, so all I'm going to do is take the buffalo plaid, then the leaves, then the leopard, kind of line them up, make sure that they are mostly together and mostly lined up there. Fold them and set them aside so that when we're ready for our leaves, ribbon tails to go on, they are ready for us. So the preparation part does take a little bit of time, and then once you have it all cut and ready to go, the put together part goes pretty quick. So you want to fast forward through this part, that's okay with me. I know it's the boring part, but sometimes it's nice to see like you know, how it all goes together. And because this was a kit, I do want to make sure I get all the steps in the video. Typically, if I'm just doing a video and it isn't a kit, I can skip through this boring part and y'all can just see the fun part that you want to see. Now, these, they don't have to be perfect. You see, I'm not paying super close attention to them being lined up exactly the same. I cut them all the same. They should be all the 14-inch. If they are not, I'm going to do my best to kind of, you know, make them appear to be even. The chances of anybody noticing that one is a little tiny off when it's in there, slim to none. So I'm not going to put too much effort into making sure that they are perfectly perfect. It's just not worth the time, okay? It's just not worth the time. Plus, I'd be picking up my scissors and cutting more, and no. Okay, so I'm going to set these all aside, and they can be waiting for when we're done, when we're ready for them. Set those aside there, and then the extra ribbon, that's going to be all for our bow. So the next thing I'm going to do is add our pipe cleaners. Now, this frame makes it super duper easy. We're just going to add our pipe cleaners exactly where the frame tells us to. That's where the notches are. The notch matches the hole. So wherever there's a notch, there's a hole. And there's a couple of extra holes. Don't pay any attention to those right now. You're just paying attention to where the notches are. That's it, okay, for right now, all right? So we're just going to add our pipe cleaners in just exactly where those holes are. Okay, all the way around, both on the inside and the outside. So there's 6 on the inside and there's 6 on the outside. I don't have to guess, I don't have to measure, I don't have to anything. It's perfectly done for us. Now I am making sure that those pipe cleaners are nice and tight. Crisscross, twist, twist, nice and tight so that they're not loosey-goosey. Even though the frame does some work for us and tells us where to put them, you still have to do your job and make sure that they're nice and tight. So I don't want to be able to put anything underneath that pipe cleaner when it's in. So like I can't fit my finger under there, that's for sure. Crisscross. Nice and flat against that board. Twist, twist. It takes a second. Under a minute, I think. Goes super quick. Just keep it moving. You're doing the same thing. Now for a wreath like this, I just use these normal pipe cleaners. I get them from Hobby Lobby. Just like that. Okay? Alright, so now I've pre-cut the mesh. We pre-cut the mesh together actually. Well, one piece at least. Okay, I'm going to leave the inside pieces all by them lonesome. I'm going to let them just hang out for a bit. And we're going to work on that outside. Excuse me. We're going to work on the outside twist ties first, okay? So we're not going to do anything to the inside for right now. We're going to work on just that outside. So I'm going to ruffle right up the center of this, right up the center. So there are a couple different versions of this pancake frame, a pancake wreath rather. This one we're going to ruffle right up the center. And keeping that center as small as I possibly can. Okay, gather, nice and tight, nice and small. And I'm going to put it right down in there, right on the outside. And I went with this mesh specifically because of the shimmer. Okay, it's not glittery, but because of the shimmer it gives. The sign has some really cute lining of glitter, and I wanted to make sure I brought some of that element into the design itself. And I did that mostly with the mesh. Okay, so I'm just going to do that all the way around. So we're going to take our mesh, ruffle it right up the center. Don't just grab the rest, go all the way to the end. Okay, pinch it nice and tight so it fans out just like a little butterfly wings, real pretty. Put it right down in there, real gentle. Push it down, crisscross that pipe cleaner nice and tight. Twist, twist. I'm not twisting too many times, just enough to make sure it's in there nice and secure. And then you see I'm kind of moving those pipe cleaners on the inside, moving those out of the way. And then I'm just kind of ruffling those up inside out to make sure that they all stay kind of nice and flat. So we're going to do that all the way around. So I kind of keep my thumbs still. I keep my fingers kind of guiding that mesh all the way. I'm not using my fingertips. I'm sorry, my fingernails. I'm using my fingertips to kind of bring that into me. I'm trying to just tell you all the tips I can think of. Some things I kind of help tell my daughter when she's making wreaths with me. Some things, you know, you might think that they're the littlest details, but they do help. Okay, right up the center. So I'm keeping my thumbs, even though I'm moving my hands, I'm keeping my thumbs still, and I'm keeping my pointer fingers still. I'm just kind of using it as a guide, and I'm gathering with mostly with my middle finger and my ring finger. I know we all going to have our ways that we do it, but if I can tell you how I'm doing it, you know, maybe that would help. I don't know. Nice and tight. When you pull that, make sure it's nice and tight so that it kind of cinches in there. And then every time I go around, kind of bringing those pipe cleaners up to make sure that they're going to be ready for me when I come around for the next round. This turquoise is such a pretty color. That glitter. Now, just because I'm doing it this way doesn't necessarily mean you have to do it this way. If you have a different way, a different technique that you want to create, by all means. This is just the way I created it for the kit, since this was a kit. Okay, last one going in that outside. And then those ribbon packets that we kind of put together. Then we're going to take those one by one, nice and easy, and nice and quick. And put those right on top. So I have my ribbons now. So we have our 3 ribbons, that turquoise, the leaf, and that polka dot plaid. I'm sorry, the buffalo plaid. Scrunch it. Whoops. Scrunch it right up the top. Kind of push it out towards you. Put it right in that pipe cleaner, nice and tight. I twisted about 8 times or so. I'm not going to use it again. I don't have anything else to put in there. And so I just go to town. This is going to be so cute. Okay, just like that. So everything's coming out towards the edge. We're going to do that same thing all the way around. Now you know why I put those ribbons together. Just makes this process go so much faster. One thing I do want you to pay attention to is I'm going to keep that pattern going. Now I know y'all want to be a little different. I know sometimes you're like, oh, she does it this way, but I'm going to do it this way. I'm telling you because I'm telling you because I'm telling you. Because I'm telling you. If you keep the pattern like this, it's so much easier to look at, okay? So if you keep the pattern where it stays plaid, leaf, leopard, plaid, leaf, leopard, plaid, leaf, leopard, plaid, leaf, leopard, it looks so much better on the eye in the end rather than you keep like for say the leopards together, then the leaves, then the buffalo plaids on the outside. Y'all, it's not easy to look at, because then all the way around your buffalo plaids from both ends would be touching, and it just doesn't look. I'm telling you, I love you. I know we all have our own ways to do it. I don't think it looks good. Okay, it's not easy to look at. This has a nice blend, a nice transition into the next one. It's just really easy to look at. And I'm not saying it's my way, because it's not just my way. A lot of people do it this way. And I'm not trying to discourage you from doing your own thing. However, this one particular thing, I promise, it's the best way. Okay? So I'm going to keep going on that all the way around. Now you see that kind of up against that sign? Oh, it's going to be so cute. And again, making sure that all those ribbons are coming out towards the outside. We're going to put that sign, first of all, on the inside. So anything that ends up on the inside is going to be covered up. And we want all of our money from our ribbons to be seen. We want those ribbons to be heard loud and clear. Twisting those. And then spreading those apart as much as I can, all facing out towards that edge. Now after I put them in, I'm going to try to not to touch them, and I won't touch them again until the very end. Until after I'm all finished, the signs on, the bows on, all those things. And then I can, right before I put it on the door to take a picture. So I try not to touch them. Go just like that. And then I'm going to take a trusty little wire cutter, and I'm going to just cut off those ends just for your viewing pleasure, not for any other reason. You're not going to see them, but just to kind of really enhance the other pipe cleaners that we're going to be using, so you can see on that camera. There we go. So those are all going to kind of go in. You won't see them. It's going to be fine. Now we're focused on those other pipe cleaners that we're going to go right in with the next layer of mesh. So we're going to do the same exact thing. Okay, I'm going to ruffle right up the center all the way and put it right on top of where we are. Now it will cover some of that mesh. It will cover some of those ribbons. But once you come in with that second layer of ribbons, it is so pretty with the layers. Super pretty. Now, here's where I'm going to tell you, try real hard to not play with those ribbons again. Just work with the mesh. Just work on getting that in place. And then we'll work with those ribbons and play with those ribbons at the very end. So just try not to touch them again and again and again, because you're going to have to touch them again and again and again. Okay? So as far as time, and really, I don't want to say wear on the ribbons, but you know, some of the ribbons fray on the edges. I don't think these ones are, but some of them do. And it doesn't matter the cost of them, it's just the material of the actual ribbon. And so the more you play with them, the more chances you have of those ends fraying. And so just try not to do that. Don't go. So sorry. Excuse me. Y'all, if I waited for this cough to be gone before I recorded again, I'd be in big trouble. So, trying to get them all done. See? Start playing with them. Don't do it. Don't do it, Melissa. Now, I know some people go super duper fast. Even if I'm going fast on the scrunches, I'm still really paying attention to, that scrunch in the center. Even though I'm going fast, I'm still trying to make sure it is nice and neat. And I'm pushing that right down, pushing it way down in there to make sure that it does what I need it to do and overlapping every single time. Some people get real angry when you cover up that mesh, especially this one. It's copper, it's shimmery, it's beautiful, beautiful mesh. But you can still see it, I promise. You might not be able to see it from this camera angle, but in person, in the wreath and the design itself, it's just the perfect amount, right? It's just the perfect amount that peeks through. Let's be real. That ribbon is what we're all about here. The mesh is like, it's the base, it's the supporter. And the ribbons are starting to be all crazy and it's driving me a little bit nuts, but I'm refraining from touching them. I'm refraining. Push it down. There we go. Okay, so then from here, I'm doing the exact same thing. Right on the top, I'm taking that ribbon. 14 inches long. Folding it kind of all out towards me, putting it right down in there. Here's where you really get to see those layers start to happen. So pretty. Now the buffalo plaid in this case, in this design, buffalo plaid's a little thin. It's a little thin. The ribbon's a little thin. But it matches. So I wanted to make sure I got that in there. That color. Sometimes I say it's like fashion. Sometimes that ribbon, it's cute. You gotta use it because it's cute. Sometimes it's not the best quality per se. It's not necessarily a bad quality. It's just, not the best. It's just not the best. But because it's super cute, we still use it. All those ribbons going to be so cute. Now, typically I like to use 2.5 inch ribbons. In this case, if I could have created a ribbon, that would have been perfect. I would have made a little blend of these three. That would have been perfect, but I can't just make ribbons, so we had to go with what we had on hand, which was actually a perfect blend. I also like that the buffalo plaid had that white, bringing out the white in the sign. Really making sure I spread those ribbons apart and make them kind of apart from the rest of the ribbons. Turquoise is so pretty. I'm obsessed with this. It's so cute. So I'm still a traditional fall color person. I'm still a traditional Christmas color person. As far as my family tree, my family, you know, decorating the living room, the kitchen, all those things. But I have a daughter, so all those candy colors and all that stuff, and the pink Halloween. Now the pink Halloween, I'm into. I can totally do. I'm seeing more and more of those different colors, like the turquoise and the pinks and the blues for fall. I'm seeing more and more of them. Not only you see them in the supplies, but you see them in sales. So I'm really excited to see where the next couple of years kind of end up as far as trends. For right now, I'm going to ride that trend and start bringing in a couple of those other colors, because let's be real, sometimes people will put on their front door might not be exactly what's in their decor just because they like the wreath and it's separate from the inside, you know. So I'm going to keep that. I'm going to keep that going. Anyway, I love this color combo. The orange and the teal and the black and white. Love, love. And those layers of ribbons are just so, so pretty. Okay, I'm still going to try not to play with it. I'm going to cut these off. Just again for our viewing pleasure. I could have easily hidden those underneath the sign and not worried about it at all. But just for us to see. Now you want to see or know why I put all those ribbons on the outside. We're going to see in just a second. Because I could take that. I mean, that is adorable. That is adorable. So cute. So now you see why we don't have anything on the inside, because that sign is going right on the top. Now, we are going to make a bow and kind of fill the spot. Now, also, these metal frames, they're nice and heavy. They have a hole in them for us, which in this case, a little annoying for me, but I got a cute little thing that we're going to put on the top. So we're going to set that right there. Oh, it's super cute. Okay, we're going to set that right there, and we're going to make our bow. I do have carpal tunnel, so I like to use the Easy Bow Maker to hold my layers. I know it's not the full correct way to do it, but it's the way I'm going to do it. It's fine. Okay, so we have the pumpkin. We have this really pretty bronze color, kind of shimmery, with a little bit of gold edging. We have, which I know it seems weird, seems a little funny, but I brought in that orange from here, that really bright orange, and the black and white plaid, okay, into that bow. And then, of course, we have our, what is this? Leopard. So, what we're going to do is, we're going to put them together just like this. We're going to put them together. So I like to have my ribbon be not very different. Obviously it has to match, but be different from the ribbon inside the wreath. I like the bow to stick out. Matching, coordinating, yes. The same ribbon, no, because it's going to blend in. I want it to be like, oh, there's a bow on that. Not looking. Oh, I didn't even notice the bow. No. Okay? So what we're going to do is we're going to put our bow we're going to set our sign is going to go up just a little tiny bit. We're going to make a little nook kind of right for our bow. It's going to be right down here. And then we're going to do an 8-inch tail. Let's zoom in here a little bit. Okay. I'm wearing a leopard shirt. I didn't even realize that. Okay, 8-inch here, and then 6 inches here. Okay. I'm going to pinch. And then twist that back ribbon. And loop. Perfect. And then pinch. And then twist. and loop, pinch, one more, twist, loop. So each of these layers are 2 yards. Okay, so our ribbon is going to go up like this, out like this, and down like that. Okay, then I'm going to take this bronzy color. Okay, I'm going to come down, and I'm going to do 1 loop. So 1 loop out like that, pinch, twist, loop, pinch, twist, tail, so I have it layered so that you can see everything so far. And then I'm going to cut off that extra, and we're going to put it right over there. Okay, now I'm going to go a little smaller. Let's see, am I going to do that yet? Or do I want to go orange twice? So we're going to do 2, 1, 2, 1. Okay, but I'm just going to see what I want to do here. Let me just see 1 second. I think I am going to do this. Yeah, I think I am. Okay, we're going to do 2. We're going to do the other 1.5 inch next. Okay, these are going to be a little bit smaller. Okay, so I'm just going to go a little bit smaller, a little bit smaller, a little bit smaller. So pinch, twist, loop, nice bright in there, pinch, twist, loop. Now if you notice, ease quickly, there's green in this, pinch, twist, loop, and there is no green in the sign. The leaves that are on the green are teal, but I think we're going to be all right. Okay, so I'm going to pull that up and this down, that down. I'm going to pull this down, and that up. Okay, so I can see that leopard, that orange, the black and white. I don't know, I'm kind of digging it. I've got a little bit of extra. And then, let's see, here, a little loop for the center, twist, loop, pinch, twist, loop, pinch, and twist. All right, now I'm going to leave that just the way it is until I can see you a little bit more. Now, this is going to be, I don't want to say it's confusing, just going to be a little different. We have one directional ribbon, okay? I started with my loop. I'm sorry, lied. Started with my tail, did my loop, okay? Then came down for a loop, went up for a loop, and came down for a tail. Now, I want those tails to look good when they're down here, right? I want them to look good, and I want those loops to look good. Now, notice that one's upside down. That ain't gonna, right? It ain't gonna look good. So one thing I'm gonna do, I'm gonna go in here, move that one out of the way, and I'm going to twist this. One good twist. Twist the whole darn thing. One good twist. Okay? And then I'm going to set that in there just so that y'all can see this. Okay? And then this bottom ribbon is going to swing over this way, and the top ribbon is going to swing up, because now it looks decent, right? Now I can see those and it looks decent. Okay, and then this stuff that's left over, we're going to work on that for the inside. Okay, so I'm going to take my pipe cleaner. Take it right off the top. Hold on one second. I'm going to take our pipe cleaner, take it right off the top and set those apart. I'm going to twist it over. Kind of scrunch my bow. It's okay. It's all right. Nobody cry. It's all right. It's going to be fine. Twist it over. Okay. Then I'm going to take my pipe or my center, bring that up to the top. Kind of hold on to it. Now I already put those kind of in place, but I'm going to make sure I bring all those tails down to the bottom. Now remember, this one has to swing over this way, right? So I'm going to pull it. Pull it. You just put it in there nice and tight. I'm going to pull it down. I'm going to pull this one down too. Perfect. Okay. And I'll go up here and spread those out again. Make sure my loops are all doing what I want them to. You can see all of those perfect little. Now, weird that I put that 2.5 inch on the top. I know, a little different. But I wanted to see that teal, I think, the most out of everything. I wanted to see that turquoise the most. So make sure I dovetail all the ends. This bronzy color ribbon, super pretty. It has that gold edge. Really cool looking. Okay, so that's our bow. Really pretty. Okay, then for one last thing I'm going to show you. Let me put my glue gun on. One last thing I'm going to show you. And I think I'm going to leave out that bronze, actually. Okay, so all I'm doing is, this is extra. You should also have an extra piece of that teal, the turquoise leopard ribbon. So you could add that into there. I totally would. I cut just enough tails that I needed, and then I put the rest away for me. So you should have an extra piece of that too. So your kit comes with, or if you receive the kit, it comes with 5 yards, 15 feet of the ribbon for the tails. Except for you technically just need a little bit over 14 feet, or just maybe a little under 14 feet. I can't remember. So you have about a foot or some left over. So typically I just throw it away. But in this case, remember I talked about how the sign itself has holes in the top and the bottom. So what we're going to do is we're going to make a teeny tiny little rag bow. And we're going to glue it to the top. Okay, we're going to glue it to the top. So I'm going to cut off a teensy tiny little piece of my, well, let's get it in there first. Okay, let's get those in there first. And then I'm going to cut off a little bit of our pipe cleaner. Oh, darn it. I have all those other pieces. Here we go. I can use this. This is just the stuff that we cut off. There we go. So I'm going to put my plaid first, and then my orange, and my orange. I'm going to leave the bronze out of it from the bow. I'm going to leave the bronze out of it, and I'm going to put this one going on the top. Excuse me. So I'm going to scrunch it. It's not going to stay this big, but I'm going to scrunch it. Okay. And I'm going to take our pipe cleaner and attach it. Scrunch it nice and tight. Okay, and I just put my glue gun on, so we have to wait for that. But while we're waiting, we're gonna just cut these. Now, we don't need it to be big. We just need it to be this little tiny thing. Okay, just like that. It's a little bit too long. I'm going to make sure they're close to the same. Okay, maybe this is a little big. It doesn't necessarily have to be that big. And then I'm going to take a little bit of, let's see if this is warm yet. I'm going to take a little bit of our bronze here. Just kind of fold that in, fold that in. I'm going to make this on the top like that, like a little, look at how cute. I mean, come on. All right. It doesn't need to be that big though, so I'm just going to, hopefully don't burn my fingers. I do want to keep that pipe cleaner part out because I'm going to slide it right down in there. A little bit of glue there. There we go. And then a little bit of glue here. And maybe a little bit of glue inside there. Now, if you have a little finisher, glue gun, you might want to use that because it's just going to be easier. But look at how cute little guy. All right, so let's get and we'll glue that on at the very end. Okay. So let's get our sign attached. So we have 2 more pipe cleaners left. So here's the deal. I don't want it to be seen, right? I don't want this pipe cleaner to be seen. Just yuck, right? Especially we have this cute little sign. And I have that word down there at the bottom that I need to be kind of protective of. So I don't want to hide that too much. What if we just did this? What if we added our pipe cleaner right to that sign? What if we did that? Let's see here. Oh, yeah, I'm going to do that. I'm going to do that for sure. Instead of adding it into the pipe, into the in addition, I'm just going to add it to the sign. Because why not? because why not? That is perfect. Get that tied around. So I just tied that around the base of the frame. And I know it's a little crazy. We got to get that so that you can see the words. I know. Just give me a second. Just give me a second. Just give me a second. Do the same thing to the top here. Messing with all that mesh and all those ribbons, but don't worry, because at the end I just go through and pull it all back, right? Right. So pull it through nice and tight, and then I'm just going to twist that so it's around the whole base. So both pipe cleaners went in the mesh about the same way. And then I slid this pipe cleaner underneath and grabbed it and brought it back around so that it was attached to the whole thing. But this is where our little holes that we have, the little extra holes, I could have just grabbed a hold of one of these, right? And put our pipe cleaner through one of those holes to help us. But I didn't, but I could have. All right, let's zoom us out here. Hold on here, just one second. There we go. So cute. So cute. Well, I mean, the bow is a little bit atrocious right now, but all right, let's get that in there. Okay, so what I'm just going to do is pull those tails down, pull my center up, make sure all those loops kind of come down where I want them to. Now this does make it a little bit fluffier than we typically have them, but all those tails come down to the edge. So cute. And then we're going to take our little guy here and stick it right in the top. We're going to add a little bit of glue. Let me just make sure it kind of goes down in there. Oh yeah. We're going to add a little bit of glue right around here. And we're going to stick that right in. Perfect. So it's just a little finisher to hide that little guy up there at the top. Just absolutely love. Then what I do on the end, of course, I always come through and pull out all of the ribbons so that they're all coming out. This is so stinking cute. All right, so I'm going to do that and pull all those out to the edge so you can see every single one of them. So that when it gets in the picture, it gets behind the camera, it is ready for me and I don't have to play with it too much. Although I still do, but this is darling. I love it. I love the 3 ribbons. Turned out really cute. Lots of stuff going on here. Makes it look super duper full. Even though we are in a pancake style and it is nice and flat, it still looks really, really good. Y'all, I hope that you're subscribed. If you're still watching, I hope that you're subscribed and watching all the tutorials from now, in the past, in the future. If you want to find me anywhere, you can find me at sincerelycreativemom.com. It's where you can see all the classes and things that I have to offer. melslinks.com, or you can go to melslinks.com, and that will bring you to all the different things that I have to offer. This is so pretty. This is so pretty. So we have the bow, all of those ribbon tails, the little tiny kind of rag bow at the top. It is darling. So cute. If you didn't know, I do have a pricing class available. I have a class that I taught all about how to be a vendor at a boutique and how you can sell your designs at a boutique. I have several different things, a garland class. I have an upcoming tree decorating class. I hope that you all enjoy it. Again, all those things can be found at Mel's Links, M-E-L-S, like Melissa, melslinks.com. The supplies that you're looking at, this was a kit. If you're looking for supplies of the spot that I purchased the most at, you can go to coachmelsupplies.com. The holiday tree class, the tree decorating class, will be coming up in the next couple of weeks. It is holidaytreeclass.com. Now I wonder if that's true. I may have just lied to you. Anyways, I hope that you're following, subscribed, all those things. You're on our email list, y'all. When I have tutorials that come out here on YouTube, I make sure I send an email to all of our people on the email list. Again, you can go to melslinks.com, and there's a spot there that says join our email list, or join emails or something like that. You can join them there. I hope that you enjoyed this. I hope that I gave you some inspiration. I hope those of you who have the kit and who purchased the kit absolutely love it as much as I do. I love this. It's really pretty. I will say, I was a little nervous. And I also want to say I'm really glad I brought in, even though you really can't see it from the top edge, I'm really glad that I brought in that mesh that was very glittery, or very shiny rather. It's not glitter, it's just shiny with the foil. That really did a lot of shine, and it looks really cute. Anyways, thank you for joining. Thank you for watching and subscribing and following and all those things. And I'll see you soon. Bye, y'all.